that's what I've been doing, is trying to schedule her physical therapy. It's been a little bit difficult with getting like pre-auths, things like that. The orthopedic surgeon was like, I was like, we need to resolve this. She's got, national summit, whatever you want to call it, the end of April. She's like, oh, we've got plenty of time. But then some of the places are like, it takes 10 days with the insurance and everything before we can even schedule her. And I'm like, she could tear something between then and now. Like, I need to get her in now. So it's been a tough couple days working through that. So it's the wrist hand part. Okay. Well, it definitely doesn't sound fun, and I hope everything resolves itself with your son, because I know firsthand, because I had my knee redone when I was 12, so one of my legs is actually shorter than the other because I kept growing. So it's totally a thing, and that's one of the things that we're worried about with Haley, is because her growth plates haven't fused. So if there is some sort of injury that happens, like depending on what it is, it could affect that moving forward. It could, like, there is basically almost like an infinite amount of things that could happen, just depending on what it is. He's in a cast and not happy. Oh, I'm so sorry he's in a cast. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy either. That is not fun. And where are you guys at? Especially if you're in a hot climate. I know, like, that's gotta stink. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Yeah, no, we're lucky. Obviously, we're not in a cast. Our tendons are stretched. They are strained. They are potentially on the verge of a tear. So we want to prevent that tear. You're in Salem County, like New Jersey? Salem County? Or like, not sure. But I'm so sorry that he's in a... Yes. Okay, so you're... Okay, well, at least it's still cold outside. And it's not, hot as all get out. But... Let me do this real cute. So... Sorry, just adding a couple things. So, yeah, Haley's elbow is basically... It's really touch and go right now. We're not taking her on a chair. She's still doing chair as if as if nothing has changed except for one thing. There's a certain swing that happens, and maybe I'll put that video, it's really, really short, that I showed the orthopedic surgeon from their routine. And that video really demonstrates where and how the problem started, and it's nobody's fault, absolutely nobody's fault. She's susceptible to that more so than others, because unfortunately she got my genes. And we are still moving forward with cheer. That's not something that we're stopping. That's not something the orthopedic surgeon has us stopping. We're stopping everything else though. So gym is off limits. We're saving all of her energy and everything for cheer in order to give her elbow that break in time. So that's what we're doing right now, so that she can continue to cheer. Let's see. Hi, Mala. How are you? I see you're back. Oh, thank you, Princess. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the shamrock. That was so cute. Thank you. How are you this evening? Awesome. I love that. That is so cute. Is she my only child? She is my only child. Yes. Only child. Yep. Yep. Hello, Jeremy Mom. How are you? Did her arm heal? So, no. It was a good thing we took her out of the sling, and even the orthopedic surgeon said that putting her in a sling was like the worst thing that we could possibly do for her. So me making that decision, and thank you guys for all of your advice and everything about your different scenarios. So we took her out of the sling, and it got so much better. So immobilizing it is not good for that joint apparently. But no, so her tendons there are stretched. They're very sensitive. They're strained, and we need to do physical therapy now to build up the muscles around it to prevent that from continuing to happen there. So there's not enough muscle buildup around that, around there. And because we don't want it to tear. That could be a big problem. Let's see. I'm missing. Let's see. Megan, I have her 24/7. Chimaki Mom, you messaged me. I will check later and see. Leslie says, oh, well, you're doing a great job, Mama. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a lot running around to, the doctors trying to get these PTs scheduled, who has our insurance, who doesn't have our insurance, appointments. They're very, very limited on appointments. So Brittany says, I was thinking about that, but I didn't want to overstep my boundaries. Your daughter's her choice. Well, thank you. Yes, but yeah, so the sling was like probably the worst thing for her. Cheer, you are in PA. Your daughter cheers for United Dream Elite. Awesome. Are you guys going to be anywhere this weekend? Just curious. We do have a cheer weekend, starting tomorrow, obviously it's the weekend. So just curious where you're going to be. Kenneth says, I've been missing your lives. I haven't been on in so long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. Let's see. All that mom stuff moms have to do every day. Yeah, it all adds up, but that's what we signed up for, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So yeah, I just wish the insurance companies and everything and would make it just a little bit easier. In fact, my insurance company was wonderful. They were expediting it, and the PT place was just, they were like, that doesn't happen. And I was like, well, I just got off the phone with them. They're ready to implement it, work on it through the weekend so that it'll be available on Monday for her. And yeah, that was just, that was a hot mess. Do tell them. Don't tell them. What do you mean, do tell them? Do tell them. We do have a cheer competition this weekend. Yes. I want to respond to that one so badly, but I'm gonna stay away from it for the moment. Not this weekend. Our next one is not until April. Middlesex College. Oh, so it sounds like your season's different than ours. It seems like there's 2 separate seasons within the year that you can choose. But our season's like wrapping up, kind of, sort of. I feel like it just started though. Insurance is nice, but such a crazy mess sometimes. That's what Leslie says. Yeah, Leslie, absolutely. But my insurance company was willing, ready, and there to expedite it for us, and the place was not believing me. They were like, that doesn't happen. And I was like, well, you're not going to know unless you put it in the system. Like, I got everything for them, everything, so they didn't have to do anything. So, what are you going to do? Let's see if that goes. There we go. My daughter's in cheer 2. We have a comp tomorrow. Cooking with us. Where is your comp? I'm just curious where you guys are at. Leslie. Some places. LOL. And I was surprised at the place. Like, we're D2. We just had a small break. Getting for it. Yeah, we're D1. So I miss a lot of the D2 teams because they, I'm sure as you know, you guys go before the D1 teams. So a lot of you guys are like there and gone as like I'm coming in. Let's see, in Sacramento. Okay. Cheer Mom says sorry. Why are you sorry for Summit? Why are you sorry? We got a full beat bid to Summit. She's a crossover level 2.1 and 3.2. Okay. So she's got a lot going on all the way out there on the West Coast. That's awesome. Let's see, Bernie. Sorry, just a questionable thing, but she's we're out here on the East Coast, so having our cheer comp this weekend. And funny, last year it was the first time they ever played. She wasn't in elite. She was on the prep team. And so, but that was the first competition that they ever won first place for, was at this particular place that we're going tomorrow. So she's really excited. She really loves this this comp. Let's see. I mean that we are getting ready for. Oh, you're getting ready for Summit. That's why we had a small break. Got it. We have like 3 competitions in like a row, and then we have a break until Summit. I don't know if you're going to regular Summit or youth Summit. Let's see. Cooking's will be cheer on Saturday, and she has a basketball game on Sunday. Wow, so she's got a lot going on. Oh my goodness. I'd be afraid she'd get hurt. Yeah, thanks, Bern. I was actually, that person was a concern for me. We all need, she was in a cast for her wrist for 4 weeks recently, so yep. So, okay, so what did she do while she was in a cast? So I'm assuming that she was still going to practice and sitting on the sidelines. That's what we do, with our gym. So is she excited to be out? She's a beast. That's awesome. That's good. So is she, just straight up heading back regular Summit? You're lucky. Hopefully they'll add youth into regular Summit for next year, and we can be at Disney. But, I'm not sure what their plan's going to be moving forward. Yeah, she plotted out her routine, but didn't use her arm in the cast. Okay, awesome. Plotted out her routine. Does that equate to marking? Because that's what, because Haley's not doing the swings where they grab her from both ends and they swing her up into the lift or whatever. She's not doing that. So when they don't do that and they're doing full outs, they call it a mark. So I'm just curious if you guys call it something else. She has to do like a 1 week work back to regular after the cast was off. Yeah, marked routine. Okay, good. All right. Okay. So same. Okay, got it. Yeah, so that's what Haley's doing right now. She's doing limited swings. She's doing everything in the routine except for she's doing limited swings. 3 per practice. That's it. because normally she would do anywhere from I think 15 to 20 of them in a practice. So that's a substantial, like, you know, change in, let's see. You love the Eagles. You're a fan too. Not a Giants or Jets fan. Yeah, I am from South Jersey. We're required. Basically, I love the Eagles. I do like them though. I do. She also did the conditioning stuff they did and didn't involve her arm. So yeah, so Haley's doing, like, she's a flyer, so she does flyer training. So that's like stretching and everything. So she's still doing that too. She didn't, last week I had her just out of everything, but this week she's back in it. But yeah, I have to say, taking off that sling made, like, the biggest difference under the sun. Biggest difference under the sun. Positive vibes only. Thank you, Nicole. Let's see. My daughter's a tumbler, so that was rough. She started as a competitive gymnast. So we have a girl on our team who was in gymnastics and now has moved to cheer. She likes it a whole lot more. But I guess she still gets that, you know, the gymnast part of it. But I don't know. She's seeming, from what I've been told, liking it a whole lot more. But Haley's not a tumbling fan. Sometimes she is, sometimes she's not. It's more like a mental block that we've got to work past. Because otherwise she'd be so much further. She could pass her mental block. Cheer is more fun from a team perspective. Yeah. I mean, as a gymnast, yeah, you're all by yourself. I mean, one sports I did, I was all by myself, but at the same time, there were so many other people in the rink as well. So there's a camaraderie between us all and everything. So I didn't really feel that way. Okay, that is a strange. Yes, definitely from a team perspective. But so do we have any other cheerleaders in here this week going to competition? You know, I already did away with that burn. So any other cheerleaders in here that have comps this weekend? Let's see. That was cute. I saw that. I got that. So I guess my moderators are doing an amazing job right now because it's so very quiet, with all the haters not being able to talk. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. Brittany's like, right? LOL. So, because I think I have a couple of moderators in here right now. So my moderating team, by the way, is growing. So with each live, it's just gonna get, you know, better and better, let's just say, on the topics that we want to talk about here on my page, and happy things and not sad things. So, how old is Haley now? My daughter just turned 13. She is 10. Haley is 10. She is 10. Yes. Yeah, she got started last year. She was on the prep team, and she's on an L1 elite, obviously, this year. So, and loving it, absolutely loving it. So, and the scariest of things she enjoys, which is strange to me. Like, there's other lifts that are less scary, in my opinion, and she doesn't like doing them. But the ones where she'll plunge face first to the ground, she loves. So, but, so, is your daughter okay? I saw the vid. Which vid? So you're talking about the beginning vids? Beginning videos? Like, the car ones? If you're referring to the car ones, there's an entire storyline behind them, how everything started. I don't know if you saw one of them or many of them, but you can definitely go to my page, go down to the bottom. Yeah, so go down to the bottom, and you can actually watch week by week how things changed. So again, I'm not sure if you saw one or many of them, but then if you go to the how it all started videos on my page, it literally gives you everything that happened. A nice little storyline. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I would definitely suggest doing is clicking that or going to that. And if you guys have any want to know else what's going on with Haley's elbow, there are 2 videos. Thank you for the rose, Marcy. I appreciate it. How are you? So there are 2 videos on Haley's elbow right now down in my page. If that's something that you want to watch, us at the orthopedic surgeon. And then we're definitely going to be obviously putting up her at the PT and, her resolving her issue. So should be interesting to see how it all plays out. But thanks, Bern. Yeah. So I think that, I just wish, as of right now, we don't have a PT appointment until next Friday. That's the earliest I could get in anywhere. So that just makes me nervous. Like I said, we're limiting her swings and everything, but at the same time, I really want her to be able to be building up her muscles, and that's not something that can, we have to wait a whole week for to even begin doing that. So we're being cautious, but at the same time, we can't stop everything just because I've got one piece of hair that is there. I think it just went. What time is it? I gotta look and see. I gotta get off because we have to get up early tomorrow for our cheer comp. But I love you guys. I really, really, really appreciate all of your comments in regards to the video about my question about her sling, because that made the world of difference. She was in so much pain, and she was in a little bit of pain and then caused so much more pain. And once we took that sling off, like I said, it got so much better. So I know, Bernie, it has been a quiet night. I wonder, have you filtered them all out by chance? Get me into my English accent. Or are they all out? Did we not go on early enough for them to be still up? Not sure. So we did plan on going earlier, but I did want to get the video done of Haley's stuff, and make sure that I got that up there for you guys to see, because I know a lot of you have been inquiring as to, how she is and everything. So she's been a trooper, she really has. And we are icing it and, doing everything that we can to help this. So I had a child in comp cheer. It does a lot of damage to their little bodies if not careful. So myself as a young athlete completely and totally understand. And I have problems when I had to have my whole knee redone because of ballet, believe it or not. it started at the age of 11, and I had my surgery like a year later because it was so bad. So yeah, it does do a lot, but there's so much more information on it now than there was when I was a kid. And also I'm very aware of Haley's body makeup because she's got the same as mine. She's hyperextensive. Being able to get to the PT and build up those muscles, whether it be in her elbow or other parts of her body as well, in order to prevent those injuries. So we're getting ahead of it. We're getting ahead of the game. And so that I can help prevent, something from happening in the future. Aw, Sophia, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I mean, she was definitely happy to go back to cheer. She's not happy she's sitting at a gym. She's not happy. So funny. We were with the orthopedic surgeon, and she was like, well, what about gym? And we were like, not such a great idea. And then, just to see maybe if the orthopedic surgeon would have let her, she was like, so what are you guys doing in gym right now? And she was like, volleyball. And me and the surgeon just looked at each other like, yeah, no. Like, masks on, like, eyes, like, literally our eyes just said it all, just like, yeah, like, that's not happening for you, sweetheart. Love you, want you to be happy, but no, with an injured elbow, that's probably one of the worst things you could be doing. It's as dangerous, if not more, but if they want to cheer in high school, they need to know how to tumble. Well, that depends on what high school. So in my high school, we didn't do a lot of tumbling. And especially for myself, I was a basketball cheerleader because I like to dance. And our halftime routines were, we did more dance than we did, stunts and stuff like that. But I think it really depends on the high school, are they competing? Are they not? Some do compete, some don't. I mean, mine didn't. But like I said, if you go watch the videos, she has a very strong base. Which is kind of in part, but not in part, why she's got the issue she has. But she needs that strong base so that, they're holding her. I mean, much worse things could happen. So I'd rather her base have that strength, and ability to execute this stunt correctly, for Haley's overall safety. So yeah. If people aren't in the know, comp chair is big money maker in North Al. It's huge. So I've had people throw out so many different numbers at me, like, of how much they pay, and I'm just like, they're like, how? And I'm just like, how much are you paying? Like, I would never have signed her up if that's what it cost. I mean, I feel like in the South it's more expensive. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. Seems like there's more gyms down there too. But again, I could be wrong. That's just what I'm getting at. So I wasn't even gonna deal with the negativity burn, so I think who you're responding to, I already Hey, how's your daughters? Oh, Ray wants to know. So I have two brand new videos down in my on my page if you want to go watch them. One was right after we got home from the ortho a couple days ago. I wanted to have that video out the very next morning. There are issues with the first video not having sound and a whole bunch of stuff, so I took that one down, fixed it, and so now they're both up tonight. But she has her ligaments are strained. They're being pulled, and if not worked through with physical therapy and strengthening, they could tear. Ray, what happened? So it wasn't any in particular incident that happened with Haley. No one, there was no anything crazy. But it's just from the usage over and over and over doing this one particular repetitive move that has caused this damage to her elbow and the ligaments in her elbow that could cause a lot of other damage, but we're getting in front of that. So there isn't any one particular thing that happened. It happened over time. And the minute she said basically her elbow hurt, I had her, in the ER getting x-rays, and right there it was. I mean, she said on last Monday, my elbow hurts. Tuesday, it hurt more. And I was like, that's it. We're going to get x-rays. And that's coming from someone with a sports background and tons of injuries that I don't ever want her to have. And, I've had PT. I've worked through it all. And so I don't want her to have to go through that. So, the injuries and everything, and I'd rather get ahead of it. So, that's a lot, story. That is a lot. That's crazy. No, it doesn't. I'm not there. Strengthening PT is perfect to get her good and strong to prevent further injury. Thank you. I'm gonna mess this name. I'm gonna just say Flower because I can recognize the last part. But thank you, Flower. Yes, absolutely. So that's why, my injuries happened, and there was no getting around what happened to my knee. There really wasn't. But also, I was hyperextensive then, and there probably should have been precautions put into place when I was young, but we didn't have the knowledge then that we do now. And like I said, I've been through it all, so I'm gonna make sure that she doesn't go through it all. Does her cheer team focus on strengthening them? So, don't fully have an answer on that. Because there was some talk on how they were changing the program this year, or maybe moving next year. Some things have changed. So I can't say yes or no. I'm not entirely positive. But, strengthening, an elbow is a specific part. So, there can be strengthening, but I don't think, it's really going to ever, they're going to focus more on your core areas than an elbow. So, the high school and middle school in this area usually come home with a first place at Disney every year. Really? Okay, so they're like, I'm assuming they're like rec. So Summit, because I've never been to Summit. They register as a rec team. Because I do see that on the schedule. That like the rec teams and the D2 gyms all go before the D1 gyms. You broke your pinky last year and had surgery with 2 pins. Oh, that sounds bad. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oops. I don't really know what that means. Curious. Story. They are Rex, but okay, so it is rec, but they are all cheer and comp. That's where they start. Yeah, so my high school, I cheered for their team, or our team, whatever. But we never went to competition or anything. It was just... Hi, Hunter. How are you? Oh, on a trampoline incident. Yeah, I've heard, like, some rough things about trampolines, and, we got one for Haley, and then never put it up, unfortunately. Because I heard beneficial things, to help her, but then there's obviously the negative aspects of a trampoline, so... yeah. So it's like hit or miss. It's like, do you go for it? Do you not? Yeah, it's rough. But, and where I get nervous is at the trampoline parks. And, they're supposed to have their little squares that they jump in. And I know kids will be kids and they'll jump all the way through them. But it's just like, it's just a head-on collision just like waiting to happen. So it looks like Hunter's saying goodbye. I'm not really sure. The gym where we were at had every school taking tumbling in their gym. So yeah, she takes tumbling. Yeah. But I think tumbling and strengthening are two totally different things. How about me? What about me? Your cousin's name is Haley. Just curious. I love the name Haley. She's pretty. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I tend to think so, obviously. How is my night? It's going well. It's getting late. Let's see what time it is. It's 12:11, so I'm probably gonna give myself probably maybe 15 more minutes, and then I am going to head off to bed because I have to be up early for our cheer competition. So, being up early for it, that's probably just what I hate the most. So, she is cheering tomorrow, yes. She has a competition this weekend. Yes. Beth, thank you. I appreciate that. Good luck to her. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was the last year, the first competition that they hit first in. So she's really excited to go back this year. Can someone please elaborate on the spicy water? What that equates to? Oh, Bethel. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's so hard with all these screen names. They're so, everyone's so different. And sometimes I'll choose pieces of people's screen names just because I don't want to mess up people's names or anything like that. Yeah. Taxis are here. Or, this is... whatever. Yeah, she was given the go-ahead by the orthopedic surgeon to do so. Absolutely. When you have the right orthopedic surgeon who is very knowledgeable in sports medicine and sports injuries and everything, and where to limit, where not to limit, and everything, yes. So... Ray says, hope she does good. Thank you. I'm definitely going to film the comp. I have a couple comp videos to put up. But I'm waiting till the end of the season to put everything up. Good luck to Haley. There's some... Good luck to Haley. These are some times we'll never forget. Yeah, I mean, she absolutely loves it and has a blast. Oh, shoot. Don't let me forget this. Not you guys. I'm talking to you guys like talking to myself. My phone only has 10%. I have to remember to bring the pins for a while. I forgot the pins at our last competition, and Haley was sad because they love running around pinning other girls. Does she compete a lot? Yes and no. Some months yes, some months no. We had some competitions scheduled that, because we're going to Youth Summit now, we have taken off of our schedule, or the owners decided to take off the schedule. So I feel like there was more competitions that we were supposed to be in prior to this, or prior to now, but I could be wrong. Wow, orthopedic surgeon. That has to be expensive. I hate to see the copy for that. Well, that's what insurance is for. So, no worries here. My son plays Pop Warner football. Does she cheer for anything like that? No. So I cheered Pop Warner when I was a little kid, and I loved it, and it's so cute, like the sideline cheerleading. No, it's nothing like Pop Warner. This is I mean, she's only level 1, but it's the elite competitive cheerleading, so it's like this stuff that they put up on ESPN and stuff like that. Here they come, Burn. Burn, are you there?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I came to get a few things real quick, so you might hear a little music from the
That's
store
okay.
inside the store really quick. How's everybody doing tonight? I see it's been really quiet. We appreciate that.
It has been really quiet, but I think you were in the store and you stopped modding for a tiny, and it's starting.
Oh, what happened? I didn't even see. Yeah, because I had to
Oh,
because the service in here,
yeah.
So what happened? Who
Um,
was? What were
so
they
we've
up to
got
tonight?
some people on here. They're like, "Wow, an orthopedic surgeon. How do you pay for that?" So
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
I seen those. Like, oh well, but you don't have a job. But how do you know? Like, how do you know?
there is so much stuff that you guys don't
How do you
know.
know? I have become really, I never thought in a million years I would get on an app and meet some amazing people. Okay, so I was just talking to Tara about it earlier, how my parents always taught me, if you're going to give freely without any I forgot, without, let's just say conditions, without any conditions to hold it or lord it over anyone. I have a good friend that I met on this app that's into, she's trying to start her acting career. She has a job. She has a job and she's in her live, mostly every live she does, she talks about her GoFundMe, and she promotes that. And she always says thank you to her supporters for donating to her acting career. This is an acting career. She has a job, and she still gets in the live and asks the public for support. And she made a good point one day, because you're always going to have people that don't agree with it. So don't agree with it. But that doesn't mean that you get to harass and bully somebody just because you don't agree with what somebody else is choosing to do for somebody else. So, so of course she has those negative viewers too, saying, how could you ask somebody for help and blah blah blah. But it's like, isn't that what we're all supposed to be doing, helping each other? I mean, and she doesn't as much negative and hate Tara gets. You would think somebody that has a job and wants to become an actress asking people for support, you think that person would get more hate than somebody asking for help for her and her child. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I'm not saying,
Yeah,
she's, you know what I mean? Am
yeah.
I making sense? Like, I
No,
just don't
no,
understand it.
no, absolutely. We've had extraordinary circumstances that have happened to us, and anybody who's new in here or you know watching this, we had an illegal lockout, and then all of our things were withheld from us, and what seems to be sold, donated, or trashed. So we have literally no belongings other than what we purchased moving forward. So moving to an apartment is expensive because we need everything. Like everything. Everything. Um well, I don't understand what you're saying. Have you read the court docs? Her page is so low.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go
You
with the
guys
court
really
docs.
need to get a life.
All right, so I'm just gonna start putting court docs like in the blocked for comments, because obviously any court docs I've clearly um, I've clearly read.
But why should you?
Why should I what?
Well, why should you put those? Like, why?
Why should they put them on the internet?
You know what I'm saying? I thought you said you're going to do it.
No.
But I'm saying why.
I guess they're asking other people, have you read my court documents and things of that nature? And I don't know if they're asking to other people or to me, but like, yes, of course I have read them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like I just don't get it. I just don't get it. My other friend that, is on here that gets a lot of support, nope, they're not as negative. Like she doesn't get as much hate. She doesn't get as much hate
She's a
as
lot
you do.
smaller, right?
Huh?
She's a lot smaller with her dog and stuff. That one?
No, not that one.
Okay.
It's another one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you later. But I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't, like, people's priorities are just all backwards. I just don't get it. I really don't. I really don't get it. Like, if you don't want to support, don't support and move on with your lives. Like, it's not that deep. Like, you don't want to support, don't support and move on with your life. It's
So,
that simple.
as far as TTA is concerned, now wanting to bring her into the conversation, TTA, any court documents that she asked for, I gave. And she knew the entire situation that was going on, the entire situation, and really wanted to focus on the child portion of it with Granny and that. Nowhere have I ever said that Grandma has bankrupted me. Did she assist in it? Absolutely. But I did not say that. I mean, those are words that she said, and so someone wants to say that, that's fine. But I have a lot of documentation in regards to our conversations back and forth, recorded phone calls, etc., etc. So I don't want to be talking about her. We agreed not to talk about each other. So I'd appreciate if you guys would just stop bringing her up. There's no real reason to bring her up. Her and I have a, mutual, we don't agree with each other. Let's put it like that. And that's fine. And we've moved forward and moved in different directions. And everyone else should really, respect that. If her and I are respecting that, I don't know why you guys wouldn't. Because it's not your relationship. When I say relationship, I say that loosely. They're seeing people blocked all the time, so no one feels they can even ask honest questions. Unfortunately, I don't think that's fair to say. Some people do have genuine questions, but lives get quiet because you're right. But it's hard for us because there are, and I do agree with you. What is it? UG. I'm just saying UG. I apologize if that's wrong. But there are a lot of people that do get, taken off the live because there are so many other negative people in here that we have really no other choice but to do so. So, someone says, so we can have a fresh start. We're very much looking for a fresh start. And just because they're asking questions doesn't mean they're supporting with conditions. What do you mean by that? What do you think this means, Bern? And just because they're asking questions doesn't mean they're, quote, supporting with conditions. Looks like you might have answered that to him. Let's see. Yeah, Bethel says, yeah, I tried to ask an honest question before and got that. I didn't mean anything bad by it. I don't know what you said. Again, like I said, I have multiple moderators in here at a time, and there are things that I see, there's things that I don't see because there are so many questions, there's so many things that are coming through so quickly. So sometimes I don't catch it. I'll be scrolled up in one section, reading those comments and answering those, and then slowly scrolling down while my moderators have already cleared out other questions or statements or whatever that are below that I hadn't even seen. You don't understand why it turned so negative. That's what Burns said. She said not to support with conditions. Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, I mean, if you don't want to be a supporter, that's fine, but we're not going to tolerate negativity and hate. So, I only asked about Haley and where she was a few weeks ago. Well, we're not really, and like this has been made clear in several other lives, is that it's really nobody's business where Haley is, what Haley's doing, whether she's here, whether she's at a friend's house, whether she's sleeping, it's because of all the private information that has been put out there. That's why we're not answering that question. And that probably happened to you, Bethel, because there were so many people that asked that question before you, and a notice went out telling people not to really fall
and it's
into
not even that, because as soon as somebody brings in the conversation, I mean, it's okay, people talk about their kids every day, but because it's her, we obviously know why she gets the most heat. We obviously know that. There's no denying that. It's clear. There's like no getting around that. But the minute that somebody does bring up something and her name is brought up, oh, then she's exploiting her child. So it's like she's damned. How do you say? Damned if she does, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So either way, it's going to be bad either way. So the best decision to make is not even to bring her up, not even to answer those questions. Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Because if she says she's right next to, if she tells you guys she's right next to her, then it's going to be, oh, well, why are you talking about all this adult stuff in front of her? And then if she says, oh, she spent the night at a friend's house, and like, oh, you never have your daughter. So it's like, nothing she said is going to be good enough for you guys. So it's like walking on eggshells, but she still has to live, right? She still wants to get on here on social media just like everybody else does. She still wants to get on here and, show appreciation to her supporters and get support, obviously. But it's like nothing is good enough for you guys. So it's not that no questions want to be answered. It's the why are you guys asking these questions? Like, what's the motive behind it? So the people that ask those certain type of questions, you're not asking because you're genuinely concerned. You're asking because you're going to go report right back to whoever you're reporting to. You're going to go back and have a whole discussion about what was said the way that you guys don't agree with. So, I mean, that's why I block you guys, because I know I could tell which ones are genuine and which ones aren't. So I block you guys. Oh well, you guys, if you guys aren't genuine, then what's the point of getting into the conversation? Support or don't support. Move on. Bottom line, that's it.
I mean, everybody has their opinion, and there's a way to say your opinion without being so negative or inserting yourself into people's personal lives. Their lives outside of TikTok. So, there needs to be, like she said, a line drawn. I definitely support healthy arguments and conversations on my page. If you don't agree with me and you want to have a conversation about that with somebody else back and forth in comments, that's fine. But to put threats out, to make just egregious allegations, that's not going to be tolerated. So that's just the way that it is. And frankly, I'm sick and tired of talking about it. I want to talk about Haley and the happy things that we have going on in our lives. And, a lot of you, so many of you have started watching us from the beginning, from the car videos, learning about our story from then and how it has worked through to now. So again, I really want to keep you guys on our journey, but unfortunately, if somebody is negative, we're gonna have to. Yeah. Okay. So, and this is why I have to do this, because you can definitely ask where Haley is, but if at the time myself, my moderators, whatever, are stating that we're not saying that right now, we're not discussing her location, her whereabouts, whatever, that just needs to be respected. So, no, I mean, you can ask, but people who will ask, they'll ask repetitively, and won't stop asking. So that's another little bit of a problem. But you're more than welcome to ask, but then it becomes sort of a question of a safety issue if someone continues to ask and ask and ask and almost, in essence, demand Haley's presence. And like Bernie was saying, if you guys want her on here, but the minute I put her on here, I'm excluding my child. There is, there's problems, whatever. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but there just needs to be some respect surrounding it. Yes, I'm putting myself out there. Yes, Haley is putting herself out there. That's what we are doing. But at the same time, we don't have to answer every single last question. We're already giving so much information about our lives and bringing you along with us in our journey. And that's something that I enjoy. I've got, like I've said, I don't know how many times, I have gotten so many messages that it has brought hope. It has brought, people have felt like they weren't alone anymore in their situations because they related so much to what I was going on, what was going on in my situation. So, when things like this happen, usually you don't know another person who is going through the same thing, and it can be almost isolating and lonely. So if I'm that person who can be there for them, and if someone wants, who needs that support and wants someone to talk to, I'd absolutely be there and love to be that person as you're going through these struggling times. Obviously, I'm going through struggling times as well. And there have been people there for me. And if, in some cases, if they hadn't have been there, I don't know what other situation we may or may not have been in. So I just try and take every day, one day at a time. Everything happens for a reason. And with that, oh, thank you, Leslie, for saying I'm a strong person. I am going to say good night because I have to get up early in the morning. I'm like half falling asleep right now. I'm so tired. And I have to get up early for cheer. So I'm going to say good night to you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, bye.